Okay guys, it is the next morning. The sun is actually out and it's cold, and the solution got cold, but we've got gold suspended all through it, and you see it all on the top here. I'm going to go ahead and warm it up just a little bit and get set up to filter it, and we will see how much gold we're going to get out of this. So when I get it filtered off, we're going to go ahead and do a small batch of aqua regia and dissolve and drop our gold and see how much powder we end up with. So while this is warming up, I'm going to go ahead and get set up to filter, and we'll be back at you in just a bit. Okay guys, this has got a little warmed up, and I am actually going to start filtering this off. So it's going to take quite a while because this is a medium flow paper. So I just wanted to show us getting started. Alrighty guys, just touching base with you for a second. We have been filtering for about an hour now, and we still have over 800 milliliters left to filter. So we are going to continue on doing this. We have a super heavy solution of copper nitrate. I mean, you almost can't even see through it. So that's why it took so much nitric acid to do that. And I did figure, like I said, for silver, not for copper. But anywho, so we're just going to continue to do this. We probably got at least a couple more hours. So I'm going to find some things to do, and we will get back at you in a bit. Well guys, we just had a caca event, and I don't know how it did it or why it did it. Maybe it was just getting too heavy, but this filter blew out. So I am not going to worry about refiltering all of that or trying to make this. See all the blue in there? That's copper. Well, when you go to refine this, you really don't want that copper in there. But it's going to have a little copper in it, because I've been 3 hours on this right now, and now I have to start over because of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put another filter in, and then periodically I'm going to just change them out if need be, because I'm not going to do this again. 3 hours worth of filtering, basically shot. It's just annoying when stuff like that happens, because this stuff takes long enough to do anyway, let alone when you have something like that happen for no apparent reason other than the fact that it just decided to do it to aggravate me. It takes about a half an hour for one of these to filter through. So there's no way I'm going to rinse this until all the blue is out, and I'm just not doing it. Alright guys, we'll get back to you in a bit. Hey guys, we are finally almost done filtering. The sun is going down, and it is absolutely blue cold out here. I've got to wait for this last one to filter off here. Our vacuum filter is filtered off there. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, and get these filters all in some aqua regia. I'm going to have to do some just handheld shots because it is absolutely too cold to mount the camera. So I'm going to, when I first do this, when I put my hydrochloric acid in, I'm actually going to probably get a little bit of an instant reaction, some stuff dissolving, because I know there was still a little bit of nitric acid left in this stuff. So anyway, I'll try and do a handheld and do the best I can, but it is just blue cold out here right now. And I need to get this done. This was only supposed to take me a day, and I'm on my second day already, so we'll get back at you in a bit. Okay, guys, like I said, it is getting really cold out here. I'm waiting on this filter to finish. I'm just going to add it to it because I have got to get this going. So, like I said, we're probably going to get an instant reaction when we put some HCl in here because it wasn't neutral, which we are. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some of that in there. I've got the heat turned on a little bit. I'm just going to push this stuff down in here and we're just going to let it go. And we are getting a reaction. It is green because of the copper. But like I said, sometimes you just got to deal with stuff. I'm going to put a touch more HCl in there. We'll deal with the copper later. I should have my gloves on, but I'm not really going to be touching anything. And I don't know about any of you, but if you've ever worn rubber gloves when it's cold, it just makes it that much colder. Alrighty, we are getting a tiny reaction because there was some active nitric. I'm actually going to go ahead and put some nitric acid in here now, just a few little pipettes, and we will get back at you when it's doing something. Alrighty, back in a bit. Alrighty guys, I got my last filter in there. I am not seeing a ton of reaction going on. There is some reaction. Like I said, it is ice cold out here. This is an extremely dirty solution. I don't know yet what all that black was. I mean, I'm sure some of it was gold. We definitely know the foils that we saw were gold. So I'm going to let this, because it's so cold, I'm actually going to let this sit on this burner for a little while, and then I will start to filter it off. I did do a stannous test, and it does show that there is some gold in it, but for all that black powder, it's not quite as much as I would have expected it to have been. But anyway, we'll get back at you in a bit. I'm going to, like I said, let this cook for a little while. And then we will filter it off and do a drop, but it looks like that's going to have to be tomorrow because once again we're running out of daylight and it is just too cold out here. So I will get back at you guys tomorrow. My one-day project has turned into a 3-day project, so we will see you in the morning. Okay guys, it's about 10:30 the next morning. I waited till 10:30 and I'll show you why. Everything's still frozen, but we did, so I got it sitting in the sun to thaw out. We did get our stuff finally filtered off last night. I'm not seeing a whole lot. I'm seeing a little bit of that black stuff in here, but it looks like it filtered through pretty good. So I'm going to get this poured off, get this stuff cleaned up, warm this solution up a little bit, and we're going to drop the gold and see how much gold we got in there. So we will get right back at you. My one day project that turned into a 3-day project. Now you know why my videos are so long, guys. Alrighty, we'll be back at you in a bit. Okay guys, being that this video is already 3 days long instead of 1 day long, and a lot longer than I had planned on it being, I've gone ahead and denoxed this. I'm not showing you that, you've seen it before, but our nitric acid is neutral now. And I normally dissolve my sodium metabisulfite in warm water and add it, but today I just want to get this over with. I'm putting actually an excess of sodium metabisulfite in because I don't think there's a lot of gold in here, but I want to make sure I get everything out, so I'm just going to actually just pour it in. I'm not expecting a lot of gold out of this. It's cold, so the reaction is going to take longer. So I'm going to just wait it out. See if we get a drop. If we don't get a drop, then there's very little gold in all that. And I mean, and it looked like there was going to be quite a bit, but I'm starting to see it change now a little bit. We may not see a lot of color change just simply because it's so cold and it's going to take a while. I really just hope we get enough out of there to weigh it to see, so I can give him an estimate. Well, this could take several minutes because it's so cold. I am actually just going to go ahead and pause this out now, and we will see what happens in a little bit. Alright, we'll be back at you in a bit, guys. Okay, guys, I just wanted to show you, we did get a drop. You can see that little bit of separation in there, so we do have a little bit of gold falling out. I don't believe it's going to be very much. I did another stannous test. You can see right there, after I put in the sodium metabisulfite and let it sit for a minute, I'm not showing anything in the stannous test. It is clear. So apparently we have dropped whatever gold was in there out of solution. I don't know if you can see, there's a tiny bit down there. But I'm just going to let this settle out now, and we will see what we end up with. Like I said, I hope we get enough to even just weigh it so we can give him an idea. I hope it also covered the cost of the acid, but it doesn't look like it's going to be super promising. But we won't know till it's done, so I'll get back to you when this settles out and we get it dried up and get it weighed. Well, we got our gold dried, so I want you to see. All that work is for that little bitty tiny bit of dust there in the bottom of that jar, the bottom of that beaker. So we are going to get our little gold vial out, and we're going to weigh that up, and we're going to see what we got. This beaker weighed 162 grams, 0.76. So now it weighs 162.85. So that is 9/10 of a gram of gold. Or excuse me, 9/100ths of a gram of gold. Let's see, 162.76 minus 162.85 equals 0.09 grams. 0.09, so almost 1/10 of a gram. Okay, so we got 1/10 of a gram. A lot of work for 1/10 of a gram. I don't think we covered acid. We got 9/10 of a gram. 0.09 tenths. So 0.09 grams out of 126.20. So that is 0.4045 grams, 0.045 grams per pound of connectors. So I said I didn't think there was going to be a lot of gold here. And you can see, I mean, that's just a little smidget. So if gold, let's just ballpark it, 1,250 divided by 31.1 is $40 a gram times 0.09 grams. $3.61 worth of gold, which is just about right, because you can figure a kilo, this was 126 grams, we got 9/10, probably I could say 1/10 of a gram. There's probably, you know, that much of a difference. but a tenth of a gram is only $4 worth of gold. So, and it cost me $10.36 in nitric acid, and I would give another $1.50. So we used $12 worth of chemicals. $12 worth of chemicals to get about $4 worth of gold. So I will, well, he'll see this video, but I will let him know that they are right on track with most pins. You get about a gram of gold for a kilo. I mean, unless they're military pins or something off the wall. But in any case, that's what we got, guys. So we got about $4 worth of gold. I'll add that to the little collection. And that will wrap up this video. So just so everybody knows, it takes a whole bunch of pins to add up to anything. And I mean a whole bunch of pins. So we'll put this in our vial and we'll wrap up this video. That's our little gold vial. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Get my little stiff brush and get every speck of that gold out of there. But that's where we are, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Pins are notoriously bad yielders or low yielders. I mean, they look beautiful. They look like there's a lot of gold there, but there's just not. Now, if he's going to get those at the right price, and we do it, you know, with the slow method, which is not using nitric acid, which is expensive, yeah, I mean, it may pan out. There may be a little profit in it. It all depends on what he's got to pay for it. So there's $4 worth of gold in a pound of those pins. So he's got to be paying, I mean, if he's paying over about $1 a pound for them, it's going to be too much. Because after you figure the cost of the refining and the time and everything else, which you're never going to get your time again, like we always know. But so anyway, guys, that's it. We're going to wrap this one up. We'll see you later.